Good day everyone. We are the lesson 14 and we will be discussing the presentation of question document. So first is the qualifications of a forensic document examiner. So not all forensic document examiners are equally qualified. Expertise is built through formal education, specialized training, scientific research, and collaboration with peers. Experience, types of cases handled, and expert testimony also shape an examiner's credentials. So next is given the prevalence of unqualified individuals claiming to be experts in document examination, it is critical to verify an examiner's qualifications, training, and experience before hiring. So, ang forensic document examiners kay mauni sila ang mga expert na nagatanaw sa mga handwriting, sa mga pirma o mga documents para masiguro kung tinuod ba ang mga documents or dili. Ang ilahang skills ay makuha gikan sa ilahang education, experience, training, practice, and also by working and training sa uban mga experts. Kay naapod uban mga instances nga mga magpaila sila na eksperto maski na wala sila sakto na qualifications or capabilities or exact mga ginabuhat kung kabalo ba sila or tama ba ni or mali. And most of all, importante na ma-check ilahang background before nato sila i-hire.
Morning everyone, this is the continuation of our report. I am Darijud Here and here are the several matters should be addressed when speaking with the expert for the first time. So number 1, can he or she supply an up-to-date curriculum vitae? So first things first is the expert's curriculum vitae should be complete, accurate, and current. Dapat ang iyahang mga qualifications na gibutang dito sa iyang curriculum vitae is related lang gyud siya sa forensic documentation examination. And then, imuhang i-identify if kana siya nga expert is nakatrabaho ba siya full-time or part-time job basis. And then, be highly suspicious pod sa mga experts na naghatag og some proof and evidences sa ilahang mga work. So, you can get some references sa ilahang mga nahimong client before para magpatunay sa ilahang mga nahimo na job before. Second is, what professional training did the expert receive? So, at least 2 years of formal training. So, dapat makahuman ka og 2 years formal training para ma-qualified ka as an expert as document examiner. And then, wala siya specific na course, pero naa siya proper program and training na paglabuhaton para ana nga field. And then, ang mga mag-ano pod sa inyo ang mga magtudlo pod sa inyo is katupong mga tao nga qualified ana nga field.
Does the training appear to the adequate? So first is dapat minimum siya of 20 months of training. So dili ka kasuldan na if wala kay training. So minimum of 24 months. Then cover handwriting, office equipment, and document alteration. So ano mo sabot-tabon naman kayo nga more on handwriting siya and office equipment. Then it includes restoration techniques and expert testimony. So of course, so dapat kanang ano siya, kanang gamitan siya og mga skills or just like special skills sa tao. And then magano ka nang ngita ka ng expert ana was the expert tested during and at the end of the program. So of course, first is dapat magi sa na siya exams like just written exam, practical exam, and oral exam. Next is so dapat diri is ensured ang skills of training sa usa ka individual. Next is meets appropriate industry standards. So diri is kanang dapat murag tugma ang ano ba kanang appropriate murag kanang same po siya sa standards sa atong country. And that's all.
Good morning, everyone. I am the reporter of several matters should be addressed when speaking with the expert for the first time. Number 5. Is the expert certified by a recognized certified body? So, certified by ABFDE or similar recognized body. So, ang meaning sa ABFDE kay the American Board of Forensic Documents Examiners. So, dapat certified or recognized siya sa ABFDE. Certification should be up to date. So, dapat ang certification kay dapat latest information or updated na siya. nga certificate. So, regular recertification every 5 years. Dapat every 5 years kay i-renew nimo ang certification or i-renew dapat ang certification. So, number 6, has the document examiner participated in any proficiency testing program? Regular participation and proficiency test. So, every proficiency test kay dapat mo participate ka or mo participate ang member. Tests from independent professional societies. So, the examiners or applicants should be passed the complete written, oral, and practical test before being considered for regular membership. Lastly is ensures continued competence in the field. I-continue lang Japon ang mga annual basis sa ABFDE. So that would be all. Thank you.
Several matters should be addressed when speaking with the expert for the first time. So number 7, does the document examiner have a fully equipped laboratory? So, ang document examiner ba daw is kompleto ba daw gamit sa laboratory? So of course, access to a equipped lab for document analysis includes nanadara ang microscopes, restoration tools, and photography equipment. So, dili lang kay nang magamit ito. So, para pag naigong magamit is need po na ka ng large area ba para sa mga documents, wide variety for documents. And then next is document evidence secured in the expert's laboratory. So secure ba ang mga document evidence sa laboratory? So evidence stored in lockable cabinets or vaults. So nakalock na sila, nakasulod na sila dito sa vault. So then laboratory secured with an alarm system. So just in case na ay kayang marog ka ng kawat-kawat dito, so maano na siya ka ng alarm system. And then prevents tampering or loss of documents. So ano siya.
So, good morning guys, manager. So, this is my topic. So, several matters should be addressed when speaking the expert of the first time. So, number 9, to what extent has the expert developed or advanced their professional knowledge or technical skills? So, regularly attends relevant conference and workshops. So, syempre no, pag para ma-enhance imong kanang knowledge or capabilities sa isa ka butang. So syempre nag-attend dapat ka og kanang seminars, workshop o kanang parang mag-participate po ka sa mga professional education and demonstrate commitment to staying current in the field. So next is testimony of non-expert witness. Non-expert witnesses can offer opinions on a wide range of topics such as property value, appearance, identity, competency, and contestation as long as an opinion is based on the personal knowledge or experience. So, kaning sa testimony of non-expert. So, syempre no, pag dili ka, syempre, labo na ka na, ibutang na to, example is, ibutang na to sa kwan, kanang situation or kanang crime scene sa pagbutan sa area ni mo no. So ikaw as a individual, so syempre dili mo ka labo wala kay hanay anang mga magbutang or mag testimony sa isa ka crime or isa ka incident. So syempre kung unsa imong nakita, so kanina example na is another example, a property owner is generally allowed to express an opinion onto the value of their property due to their direct relationship with it. So this is because the owner knowledge is presumed to be sufficient, giving them a quasi-expert status in that area. So kaning sa example na gihatag is example na sa area, kanang area is ang tagian na is nakakita sa incident or sa crime scene ana. So nasa kanang knowledge nga pwede siya mo testimony sana. So naapod siya kung mutugan ba siya o dili kung ano siya nakita ano. To resist the admission of non-expert opinion, one should focus on challenging any witnesses in the foundation of their testimony. So, syempre, kung kanang, di ba, dili man expert ang mag-witness, so, naam na yung possibilities nga, kanang na yung pulbaan or dili nila yung maingon ang tanan tungod sa pangulba, giunhanda. And that's all. Thank you.